We want to talk about a new brand. Now, some of you have seen me talking about this on Twitter and on Facebook. It is Datsun. Now, Nissan is reviving this brand specifically for some markets, and India is right at the heart of all of that. So we have a little bit of an insight for you on the strategy, the kind of products you can expect. Here's a quick look at what you can expect from Datsun then. And remember that the first global debut, the first product, will be out next week.
The arrival of a new brand is always seen as important by any new market. But when it's a new brand for the world, one making its global debut, it becomes pretty exciting. We travel to the headquarters of the Nissan Motor Company in Yokohama, Japan to understand what the company is trying to do as it revives an old legacy. Datsun will return as a new car brand aimed specifically at emerging markets. Renault-Nissan boss Carlos Ghosn has for long wanted to attack that end of the mass market, and he isn't simply seeking volumes, he's also going after profitability.
Now, it wasn't too long ago, it was just in 2010 that the Nissan global management took this crucial decision to go after what's looking like a very important new customer, very important new set of markets. We're not just talking about the kind of volumes potential that the emerging markets are throwing up, it's also the future growth potential, because remember, brands like Nissan, global car companies, are struggling in what have been their developed or their strong markets in the past. And so it was crucial to not just look at this individual customer, but also the kind of aspirations that customer has, which is where the idea first came to revive the Datsun brand.
Since Nissan is seen as fairly high-end and Renault is mid to high-end in most markets that they both operate in, Ghosn green-lighted the return of Datsun. Sure, Renault-Nissan have Dacia, the Romanian brand made famous by the Logan and Duster, at their disposal, but Datsun aims squarely at an aspirational middle class in 4 markets: India, Russia, Indonesia, and now South Africa, which was recently added to the initial 3. And India gets the first car.
As you said, we are targeting markets where there's a large emerging middle class. I mean, that is the only common criteria, and then every country has its own history, conditions, and opportunities. Now, why India as one of the key markets is obviously a correlation of the size, the economic development, the fantastic and extremely dynamic emerging middle class, the engineering capability, the industrial policy, and so on. Why launch the first Datsun car in India? I think it's just a form of a celebration of this, what we call two-way partnership that Nissan Motor wants to develop with India. We are employing, I think, in total more than 10,000 people in India today. We have an amazing set of engineers. We are developing a full scope of capabilities from what we call market intelligence, product development, production engineering, preparation, manufacturing, and distribution. And I think you all know that our CEO, Mr. Ghosn, has coined frugal engineering and has elevated, I would say, India as the birthplace of frugal engineering. So there's both rationale and passion in the choice of launching Datsun, the first Datsun car in India in mid of July.
Now, one huge asset that Team Datsun had at its disposal was the fact that it was part of Nissan, part of a huge global car maker, which means you already have access to things like components, existing car platforms. And so the development cycle required, as well as the costs required to do that development, were both significantly reduced.
But that didn't mean taking everything from the Nissan parts bin, including that very attractive V platform, which already spawns the Micra and Sunny in India.
There is one very peculiar difference between, I would say, V platform and the Datsun. As we said, it's a global brand with a local product, so which means we don't use the word localization, and we mean it. When we mean it, because this does not exist anywhere. So because India is the mother country, it is local. Now the question comes, when we do local, the target should not be local. The target should be the competitiveness in terms of performance, in terms of cost, in terms of delivery, which means when we do the overall balancing of what we are trying to do, we may land up in some global sourcing, but that's not the objective. The objective is to be local. And when we do local, if we find some common assets across the alliance, definitely we will go for it, because it gives the economy of scale.
Datsun will have 2 cars of India that arrive in 2014. The first will be a hatchback, priced at an estimated 3 lakh rupees. The brand is making its global debut in India next week, a proud moment for our industry, no doubt, and we will be there to bring you much more.